Right, guys. How we doing? All right. So I know that this I'm trying YouTube for the first time. So pardon me. I'm trying YouTube for the first time. Pardon me. I need to start sharing. I'm trying YouTube for the first time. Pardon me. I need to start sharing. I'm trying YouTube for the first time. Pardon me. I need to start sharing. Right. So we're gonna have NFP with Code Fx. So we should try and set up and see what we can do. I figured that I should just stream live since it's better. So let's just do it directly and live, right? So share the broadcast, get it out to as much people as possible. The only thing is that you probably may not be able to ask me questions, but you can ask me the questions in the chat. I would be willing to answer. You can ask me the question in the chat. I'm currently at a very remote location. Currently at a very remote location, so I actually have no idea about what's happening. So you might have network glitches, issues, all of that. But I promise to give you guys the best of what I am doing right now. So please put comments in the chat. I would be looking at them and I would be working with them. So let's get up. So we have NFP in the next 1 hour, and I'm going to be starting first with AUDJPY. Why am I starting with this guy? I think it's because I was looking at it before I had the mindset to go live. So pardon me. We were on the weekly at the time, so was working with that. So first on the weekly, we have. I know you want gold. Don't worry, I'll give you gold. So on the weekly, we have what our range structure from this high to this low. Very beautiful range structure, but for us to confirm bullish, price has to take out this, liquidity here and then break structure to the upside, to confirm bullish intent and all of that, which is beautiful. Price also came since this low was not taken, it closed above and then initiated the move to this low, and then we broke what? We broke structure to the upside, and then we had a lot of inducement, and then price came to this key level, tapped it, closed above, gave us confirmations, all of that, and then we are still riding it to where our first target, the buys from here. We just have to keep joining the trend to now continue the moves to take out this target. So we're gonna put this plane here and call it our liquidity target, right? All right. So since we have that, I currently have two places I want to look out to trade from. First, I want this liquidity to go. Then I'll see price tap into this place before it pushes down. Something around like this. Come down again before we now, push to the upside. I'll be looking for this in the long term, right? So we have that for our, our push for the long term, and then but the idea is to know where price is going or what price is doing. So we know that price is going to this point, so we know that we should be looking for buys, right? But price, of course, will not just keep going like that. It has to react from something. It has to make sure that it produces something. So on the weekly, we're bullish. On the daily, we can see that we have a key level on the daily. And I think that's key level on the daily here, right? And then I see that price is actually doing what below and give me, a confirmation before I push to the downside. You know how we do it. We know that first of all, when we react from a key level, and we have to close below first on the daily. Then if it's on the daily, then we go to the 4H. That price is going down, and once we have that line, wait for it, and then we can find our entries. That's what we have been doing, and that's what we are looking forward to do. So that's it. Only one person. All right, so that said, we'll be looking for price, looking for how to push price, way to the upside. All right, I mean to the downside, giving that example. So right now we have the price already mitigated and price is closing below. So since price is closing below, it has not closed below, it has not mitigated, we have liquidity. Remember that we've been buying, AU, from here. We've just been buying AU up until this point. Right now, we've taken out this form of external range liquidity, and so of course we expect price to at least give us something to push to the downside, and that's why we are looking at this point. But of course, we know that the idea is that we go to the upside. Now look at this. When the 4-hour touched this point, we see that it closed below, and then gave us what we call an engulfing. Now this engulfing is where everything begins, right? We need to understand that since the 4 hours has given us this particular setup of formation from this guy, we need to look out for where we can now find we can find our sweep and our break, right? We already have this. Price has taken this out as we go to this place before we continue the bullish move, right? I'll be looking to buy from here on the JPY. In short, I can set up my stuff here, maybe about 40 pips, 29 pips, and then just keep targeting the highs, right? This is very possible. But at the same time, if we have to get here, that means we have to sell. We sell, we are not, dictating for the market, but we just forecast and tell guests to know where the market is going or where it's taking us to. Right? So that said, we also, please pardon me. Right. Okay, so that said, we're looking for this, but at the same time, we are looking for something we can play with right now, right? Something we can play with right now. So if we're going to play with anything right now, we're going to say that price, should give us something to play with. So we're having the 4 hours, engulfing all of that. We have all of this. In short, we have a lot of very bullish, right? We're very bullish. The only way we'll consider bearishness is probably when we hit the daily or the weekly, stuff, and then it's now reverse, and then it gives us a breakout on the daily. But if it doesn't give us a breakout on the daily, we are not bearish. We are still bullish. We're just wanting to, look for how to, when we get here, we look for how to, come back into discount zones and continue buying again. So that's that. So now on the 4 hours, we have this price has mitigated. So we need something to happen here. We need 4 hours to reject these 4 hours. Once we reject these 4 hours, then once we reject and close below, then we have come. It's as simple as that. Now it has given us an engulfing, all of that. But once we reject, then it has confirmed that we can sell below, or we go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is also giving us something. We see that this has printed, this has rejected. This is the open close level for the 1 hour, or the 2H, us to close below. So we need to close below. If we don't close below, then we can't. We'll probably wait for the next key level, right? So it's just as simple as that. But then this is a place that we're looking to trade from. because we have the sweep of liquidity, the break of structure, we have a pullback, and then we need price to come into this point before we go to the upside. This is a very beautiful, zone for me to trade off from. Honestly, that's if it doesn't get to the higher time frame liquidity. That's playing from this point, right? So I'll be looking to do this so we can have the push clearly to the downside, then 100, and then we do this, and then we go to the upside. That's one, right? So that said, then let's go to Euro USD in itself, right? Is this my Euro USD? I guess it is. All right, so this is my Euro USD. Okay, so we've been seeing Euro USD consistently giving us, something to play with. Now, from the weekly, so let's go to the monthly first. The monthly is giving us an understanding. What is the monthly giving us? Something simple, something simple, guys. As we can see, the monthly high, this August high was taken, this other high was taken, right? And then price closed below, and price has been selling since then up to, this is my target for the monthly. It cannot go up anymore. It probably can, but this is my target. It should clear this low by the end of the month, or maybe into January, right? So, or maybe into December. So I'm looking to push this really down. And if I'm pushing this down, AUDJPY, USJPY should also be going up. So that's just like the idea. Then on the weekly, what are we having? We're having that we already had this completed on the weekly. We had price taking this low, and then price going to create a high, and then price mitigating the high. We need to continue our bearishness to the low. So having mitigated that point, you see price push complete the move. So today is Thursday, therefore we're expecting expansions on Thursday. Now I have this as my target. This is not the monthly target, but this is this the monthly target? No, I don't. Yeah, this is the monthly target. Yes, so it's to go to the upside. But at the same time, we need to understand that price is price and it can do what it wants to do, right? But I know that we are at least bullish. If this low could not take out this high, then this low is done. So we should be looking to sell. That's what I have right now, right? But it can change as we go lower. So what are we seeing on the daily? On the daily, the weekly is bearish, and then we've been selling off from the weekly. And can we see a breakout? So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to clear this too. So what can we see? Can we see breakouts on the daily? The daily breakout we saw was here, and then price got here, mitigated it, and then started closing below, and all of that. So this is just the last line of action or whatnot. Price for liquidity, price broke structure, and all of that. So on the daily right now, we are seeing price pushing to the downside. So let's see what happens if price will reverse from here, because there are two things that price will do: attack liquidity and balance imbalance. No, so if it's going to do any of those, we need to ask ourselves, where is the imbalance that needs to be balanced? First of all, price started moving up from this point, but then we still had this area that was left for that move. So I'm expecting prices to go down. So this has confirmed that we are still bearish. Next is 4 hours. So if I can see a breakout on the 4 hours, then I can confirm bearishness or bearish intent, right? And what do we see? We see, yes, that there's a breakout to the upside, but then there were a lot of breakouts going to the 4 hours. Like today, even today, we also have price closing below the last 4-hour low. All right, we have price closing below this low, which is giving us an understanding that, we're still going to the downside, right? Which is depends on when this one closes. So we have like an hour for this to close, and once it closes, gives us that understanding that we're still going below. We just need to probably push up and then go down, creating new levels of trading ranges. So we have that. What else do we have? We also have that we also have that on the 1 hour. On the 2 hours, we have this high, made a low, price is reacting from this point or the mid of this point, and then we see that it's rejecting, but then this rejection is just giving us, one or two stuff. So if I'm going to do this, there are two ways I can enter from, depending on what price is going to do in the next 1 hour. I'll be looking to take off something from here to the downside. Yes, I'll be looking to do that, something like this, boom, and then we continue pushing to the downside because we have, a target to meet. So even if NFP goes to the upside, it wouldn't be a shock for me because of course we have a lot of places that we can, trade from. A lot of places we can use this as our inducement, use this as our liquidity, and then push to the downside. Like there's a lot of places to trade from. There's even imbalances to be filled much later when we take out this liquidity. So that's what makes sense. And of course, we can play with that. The 1 hour, is it giving us any break structure? Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this here, and then we have what? Deleting this. So we're having this as our single candle formation. So we can just have price pull up, get into this point, and then push the downside. That's one. And then also all of this to rebalance liquidity. So yeah, we had this entry, push to the downside, price came back again, push to the downside, and then we're up again, and all of that. So let's just see how it goes until we get to this point. Now this is the point where everybody's looking at for, right? Yeah, we're looking at for this point because it's like the extreme to begin to push to the upside. That's basically what I'll be looking, right? So DXY, DXY, okay, so it's broken, meaning that we are bullish on the weekly. Yes, and we've been breaking highs. After breaking this major high, we've also been breaking highs. All of that. Like I said, price must not necessarily come back to it, but it just shows that when it breaks a high, somewhere it can find that it continues to go. So this is beautiful. I'll be looking to take a trade from here or probably the open close level. So now, first off, what's our target for this particular area? First off, this is it, as clear as day. Delete this. This is our target. Why is this our target? I think the monthly can explain low, taking out the monthly low, and then taking out the monthly high. But then there is just this single candle formation target that price needs to attack and then balance itself in liquidity, right? So there is an imbalance here, IFVG, whatever you guys call it, that needs to be balanced. So we need to push up to that point, right? So it depends on how the month closes, to give us that understanding that we need to push to the upside to that point. Yeah, so we've done that weekly. So we have this on the weekly, and then what do we have? So on this weekly, we have this, we have open close levels, we have the lows to play with. We also have this high that price can come to. Price moves from key levels to key levels, imbalances to imbalances, and whatnot, right? So we have all of that. So we have this point. We also have an open close level here that price can also target. So we have all of this as our key levels, and then we have the liquidity. So price should at least take it out and then probably reverse before we go again. Yeah, so we have all of that, and then we can start looking into the daily. So we can start looking into the daily. So into the daily, what can we see? We see clearly that price is bullish, right? Price has given us what, a breakout, giving us another breakout. So we are bullish on the daily, right? So since we're bullish on the daily, we just need price to complete the move for us, the expansion. There was a Wednesday expansion, but at the same time, we need price to complete that, that particular move for us. So yeah, we have this. We also have a key level here that price mitigated and pushed the upside and all of that. So we're expecting price to get here before going down. So I can delete this one because it's not clear, and I can use this one on the daily because this is a clear daily, breakout and all of that. So let's see what it goes. So we're going to be expecting price to do what? To NFP buys, and then we now have a reaction to this area before we continue buying to the final target. That's what I'm going to be having for NFP, or for what's the name, for DXY. So next is going to be GBP. Now note that you'll be wrong because market can do its thing, but I'm just going to give you what is clear is what I'm going to be giving you, because of course that's right. Yeah, so we're gonna run it down from the weekly, monthly, like that, like that, like that, which help us, which will help us. Of course, I'm gonna do good, and so yeah. If you have questions, you can drop them. I'm gonna do good. So now, what do we have on this week, on this GU? Yeah, GU, EU, same thing, same process, but they act differently sometimes, right? So on the EU, on the GU, for me, my monthly target has been met. Sorry about all the noise. My monthly target has been met for me. I even have to clear up all of these charts because it's a lot of things. All right, so we have, for me, this was a key level. We had this monthly August guy, right, that was taken out, and then I said the low has to go. So the monthly guy has gone, the low has gone, but it needs something to push even after it has taken the low. So I'm expecting that price should come to this open close key level for the monthly, right? So that it can use that to push to the upside. Pardon me, jeez. Can use that to push to the upside because it will now balance all the remaining imbalance that's not been there or that's not been used. So that alone is giving me that understanding that we should be selling, finding sales. So if you go to the weekly, we'll start finding weekly CRT levels, weekly, highs and lows to be taken and all of that. Example, as you can see right here, you see that we had this weekly low, but we are bearish, so we had that price pushed, and then price took out the high, as you can see here. Price took out the high, and when price took out that high, it closed below, meaning that this guy is the target, right? So we understand that, so we keep finding sales until this low goes as our first TP, and this final low goes. That's what the weekly is saying. So what do we have for the daily? You see how we work this thing from the beginning to the end. What do we have for the daily? We have that the daily is also giving us what? Breakouts. Of course, it gave us breakout things, right? And this breakout was used, I guess. Was it? It was used. Okay, not yet. It has not been used. So we have the daily breakout. Of course, price closed below. Use this to do the breakout and all of that. And we're expecting, that even though price is going to be reacting from these points, at least it should come take out this low before any other thing would happen, right? So that's just the idea that we have. There's also a key level here, but this key level has to, play within the, the means. So even if we have something like, we have this open close level like this, that price closed below and closed above, and then we have the sweep of this guy, and price closed above it, right? It doesn't mean that price is going to clear this guy, this up guy. It really doesn't mean that, right? Because of course you know that in this period we are bearish. You just need price to come back to this area. So even if price begins to go up and it comes here, it's fulfilling the fact that we have to come to balance, imbalance, and then push to the downside. So price can do something like this, clear this low, because this is the weekly low, and the weekly storyline is greater than the daily storyline, except if we have a breakout, or a sweep and a break to push the daily storyline to the upside. So right now, and that's where it's reacting from. So I have the push to the downside. I'm expecting price to go to the downside. Let's see what else is happening here. We also have the price pushed here. That's on the 4 hours. 4 hours, do we have breakouts? Yes, we have a lot of breakouts. And then the only way that 4 hours can be confirmed bullish for us to begin to buy or look for buys is if this high is gone. So until this high goes, we are not bullish, right? We are still bearish. We're looking for sales, so we now need to since we have understood that we are looking for sales, find where those sales are. Now, for example, look at this beautiful trade. This is what I used to tell AB most of the times. I tell them that once you see Asia high and Asia low, has been taken, you need to ask yourself, where can I be taking my trade from? You see that Asia high is here, and we need something to push price down because we are bearish. So we don't look for buys, we look for sells. Sells into strong Asia zones. Strong. You see like this now, open close level, strong ones that we can push to the downside. So even though we got here, let me draw a circle around here so that we can find it. So we got here, right, which is our key level. We know that we can find entries in the 1 minute, in the 5 minutes, in all of that. So this is the circle, right? Our entry to take price, oh Jesus, to take price to the downside. Beautiful. Look at this. What can we see? We can see highs and lows, right? So we have what? If we draw our structure, we have our high, our low. This is what breaks the high, right? And then our low, our high right here. And then this is when the low breaks. So the low breaks up to this point, right? Come here. Yeah, and then makes another high. Because all of this is one leg. All of this is one leg. This is the low, not there. So we have all of this, and this is where we broke structure. So if we broke structure here, that is to say we can start looking for trades from other blocks around here, right? So this framed the low, made a high, made a low. So we can start looking for entries from here, right? All of that from here, which did not mitigate, right? Which price can still come and mitigate, and all of that. So that's basically what it is. And then you just start looking for break structures, and then OBs and all of that till you write price to where we are writing price to. So if we want to now find where we can enter from, because that's where all of you are looking for, where we can enter from, right? So right now, look at this. So let's draw it up. So we have our high low. This was broken. We have this beautiful zone as our zone to play with. We also have that this was also broken. We also have this high here, right, at our zone to play with. And then price now just did something beautiful. That's taking liquidity and has broken structure. So we have this zone for price to play with. Are you seeing? So we're having all these zones for price to play with. And of course, so we have to just start waiting and then looking out for what price is going to do, because this is what NFP, non-farm periods, 1430 guys and some years to go. So price is pushing to the downside. So it means that price can, of course, come into this point and then continue its move. That's what we have been. We have been bearish. So price just has to move and then come down to that point before taking out all those lows that we have. So please know that we're bearish. I probably would just be looking to see what price can do. It's already printing lower lows, so we have that in sight. So since that's taking the highs, of course, we should be able to take out the lows for NFP and that. So let's go to gold. Let's go to that. I can see you and I know what's going on. All right, so we have gold. Gold. What do we have for gold, guys? So for me, gold has been doing what he likes, and of course, I I don't know. I'm tired of these goals that sent me to village many times. But what can we do? We are here. Okay, so let's go. Uh, let's go for gold. So I'm going from the daily now because, of course, I was expecting gold to come into this point so that we buy, but it didn't come. What it did was that it went straight to the open close level and began to buy from there, which is good because of course look at what he did. Look at what he did. Look at what he did here. We have the open close level, right? But then we had what? We had a single candle just below it that price took, balanced it at the key level, and then pushed to the upside to take out the high. You see how clean that was, right? So this was where we bought and then went to take out the high, take out the profits at 4103 and all of that. Now that built what? A key level. First question, have we broken structure on the daily yet? No, we haven't. The only last structure break was here, and this is a bearish break of structure. So we haven't broken structure on the daily yet, to give us something. So we also have this key level here that price is reacting from, right? So this one is the one that, pushed price down, because all of this, if you check, this is it. So price and closed below, right? Balance, all right, so we're still on. Okay, so we have our balance. Okay, so we have that price is what? Finding the key level and is overlapping in what? An imbalance. So since it's overlapping an imbalance, then the thing we need to do, the simple thing we need to do is what? Is to wait for price to close. So price closed below. Of course, I can move my line here to find either what's gonna win, bullish or bearish, or I stay out of the line and wait for today to close and come back tomorrow. But let's see what the 4 hour is saying. So it has closed below. Now, since that's closed below, and look at what the 4 hours is giving us. 4 hours is saying that as early as 12, we had something beautiful. What was that? We had this as our inducement for that particular liquidity, and then we have our open close level of the level. So that's basically what it is. And then since we play with the close of the level, we also check if price has broken. Yes, we've broken, so we're bearish. Do you understand? We're bearish. But right now, price is giving us something else. It's giving us that having mitigated the bullish structure, we're also bullish. So I think the bearishness has completed its job, having mitigated at the 4H and has gone to the trade that I went and closed now. There are two things, they're very clear two things, right? We see that price also mitigated an open close, which is what? The key level on the daily, right? It's a key level on the daily. So if it's a key level on the daily and we're looking for bullish, bullish structures, then it means that having mitigated this and it's closing above, then we should be going higher. Do you understand? So that's just the idea. So let's just see what gold is going to do. We have about some hours again. So we have like 30 minutes to go for this. But let's see if we can still see more stuff. So we have this pushed to the downside and closed below. So let's check 1 hour and see if we had any break of structure on the 1 hour. So on this one, on this 1 hour, what can we find? Can we find a breakout? Yes, we can. Can we find price pushing itself lower? Yes, we can. So what do? We find places to enter from, where we have this as a good zone to play from. I probably would have used this guy, but I wouldn't use him because it's too low. Like, yeah, we have sweep and then we have break, but then we need to know how this guy closes in the next 1 hour before I now confirm that. But then this is it. But then I'm also looking at this guy, so we can just have that in the next 1 hour. Price we just in this imbalance area sell directly. I think that's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna have something like this. But gold is usually very stupid, so I try my best to be very careful with it, right? So we just have something around here. It has not given me a confirmation yet, so don't rush that. Probably about 100 pips or 80 pips, depending on where it's gonna enter, and then I need to wait, for it to give me a rejection on the 1 hour before I confirm my move to the downside. Do you understand? But then I can also take a risk entry here and also confirm my move to the downside. So basically, that's what you can tell me on the live stream which pair you want me to look out for, so that I just do that right now. and then just go place. This is me, but at the same time, as I told you, at the same time, we have broken structure to the upside here. Yes, that's valid. That's number one. On the 4 hours, we broken structure to the upside. So if this guy is not holding loses, right, then we'll be looking to buy. Like it's as simple as that. We're looking to buy. Once there's an entry like this, we just find the inducement and then we'll have this. This is why I don't like trading gold. But then it's what it is. It's what it is. But I feel like the pressure on gold is just to buy. So the only time that we'll have a push to the downside will be from this point. Will be from this point. We have this guy having closed off this our low here. We have this mitigation, we have the push down. Price has completed is this. Remember, we are coming from a daily key level for the buys. So I would not just jump into sell. I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait for the sell, for the candle to close below. Once the candle closes below, then we can now start saying, okay, we want to push, we want to buy, we want to do this, we want to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to delete all of this and then I'm going to just wait for this guy and see how far. Let's see what he prints out, right? So remember, we're waiting for the 1 hour candle to close. So once it closes, we'll know how far. But this is the setup. This is what we are looking out for. Any reaction from any of these, and we are good to go. This is how you do it. Just wait. You know where the market is going. Just wait. We have something like this. If it comes here, we go up, and then if it comes here and close below, then we find the confirmation entry and then go down. It's as simple as that. We are coming from the daily. Remember, we are coming from the daily bullish. And so if you're coming from the daily bullish, we know that we are going up. So that's basically what it is for gold. Yeah, look at it. Look at how beautiful. Like, it's just very clear. This guy has come, it has mitigated, and then we started the bullish run. And then the bullish run has been going. So it closed below, having taken out this. So we've taken this out. So we have to at least take out or go to somewhere around here or take this high, one of those things. That's just basically what it is. So keep watch and know how far. Yeah, that's what I have. So guys, GBP JPY, good afternoon. Okay, GBP JPY. What do I have on that pair? GBP JPY has been buying. I think we're part of the buys from the beginning. Yeah, we're part of the buys from the beginning. We missed this one, but we got in here and all of that. But let's look at the whole storyline and see how far. All right, so look at the monthly storyline. First off, we have a target for GBP JPY. We have a target. What's the target? This is the target. That's the first thing you need to understand. That's the target. It's as beautiful as that. Right. Why is this the target? Because we are coming from where? I think we're coming from this monthly key level. Did he hit it? No. We're coming from the QMR then. Coming from the QMR. So QMR key level, beautiful. Sweep, break, continue, reclaim the other block, right? We closed above, and then we've been. So that's the monthly whatever gist. So let's go to the weekly and see what's up. Now on the weekly, clearly that price is taking lows and breaking highs, taking lows and breaking highs, and we are still charging to the upside. We've broken, above these guys. So we know clearly that if price is going to come back for us to buy, we'll be buying from here. Yeah, this good open close level. So we have that. Keep that at one side. But we're bullish on the weekly, bullish week. So how do we now JPY? The movement happens in the night or in the morning, and then we can see clearly that this key level has been respected twice, and then price has taking it out and all of that, blah blah blah, and then we are still pushing to the upside. So we'll be looking to play around here. We have this open close key levels. We also have this as like single candle liquidity. But let's see what this open close is saying daily, and then this one becoming a single candle liquidity. So we're gonna close this guy. We're gonna have this guy still be here as our sell, as our buy, but then there's nothing pushing price, to go to the downside except for where. Let's see. Do we have any push? Except probably this guy. Let's see what this guy can do. One, right? We also have this open close key level, but it has been mitigated already. And then finally this guy. All right, so let's see what price is reacting from now. Price has reacted from that first one, which is good. So price is going up so that it reacts from where the open close key level that has been used. So it's not really going to give a lot of stuff, right? So we're just going to see that it might just play around and just do something. So what do we have? 4 hours. 4 hours. What can we see on the 4H? So we have this one. Price I just played through this guy like that. And then you see that the open close level that we have, price has mitigated it and closed above. So we have what? Another breakout. Beautiful. So if we had another breakout, the idea is to join the trend, right? Since we are not coming back down, so it's to join the trend. So price has broken out of this point. That's taking off the open close level. It also has liquidity here, but this guy has been mitigated. This is a continuation. Price closed below, and we are seeing that even if price closed below, it did not mitigate anything. So we're gonna see a breakout, and then breakout has happened. If this closes above like this, then we have this to the upside, at least to hit this guy off, right? So we have that. It doesn't have to be here. It can also come back to this guy. It's just whoever gives you that push, right? So basically wait for it to close above. Once it closes above, we can now find entries. Where is it again? Yeah, this is the guy. So break above, and then we can find entries and push to the upside. What else? 1 hour. 1 hour is already showing that it's touched, but price can come in again, come into this place that we have, open close level, and then push. This is giving us something clear, right? Giving us something clear. We have this, and then we can have something like this, pardon me, and then push to the upside. All right, so that said, I think we are. All right, guys. Sorry about the. You see that GPJPY is like moving to the upside. We know that it's gonna be bullish, so there's no need beating around the bush. So you can either find more entries to the upside from wherever you are, begin the move from there, right? So I like price coming back to my entry points, and then we begin the move from there. So basically, I'll be looking to take this. I'll be looking to take this. This GPJPY looks really, really good for me, right? And to cap it all up, we also have what? Inflation rate, CPI, early in the morning, right? So once we have that, no matter what happens, we're gonna have an expansion. News is gonna happen, all of that, and yeah, we're gonna have that push. We also have balance of trade, that same morning. So two news this early morning. So I think it's upside. I know we're gonna push to the upside, right? So that's for that on GPJPY. But then we are going up at least to take out this liquidity level first before we now push ourselves into more of these things. Okay, that's that. Do we have any other thing? Let me see this ADJPY people. Okay, ADJPY is not closing, it's closing above. Beautiful. So let's see if it's going to close above or it's going to push down. Whatever it does, we'll see how far. And then who again? We have the buy here. So those two news can also influence this particular one. So we have yes CHF. I think we're on a buy for this guy for the longest of times. Yes, we're on a buy for it, but of course, classic. We take TP at this point and then it runs up to our target. Anyways, USD is still looking strong. Now, if this is still looking strong for buys, that means Euro USD is looking strong for what? For sales. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. You can't fake it, or you can't whatever. I don't know. You can't fake it. If this guy is looking strong for buys, because this is where we are. Let's go to daily or weekly. So we come to target the low again. It's just what it is, right? So now that we have that, the next thing we need to do is to go to the daily. So if we are going into the daily, we have like 14 minutes more. This was how I got into the daily, and then we saw that buy. We saw that price has taken out the low, price has closed above, and then we need to join in from this point to at least take out this high, right? We didn't know that price was going to still expand further, which it has done right up to this point. So what are we going to expect right now? We just need to expect that this price is buying. We need to know where price will terminate its buying from. Now we already have this zone as our what? As our first area. But then you see that we are bullish. We are bullish, bullish, bullish. Price came, take the low, bullish, bullish, bullish. We've broken this. So we definitely will break this high. Probably what we'll be reacting from will be this one. So what do? We wait for it, see that price has already mitigated this guy and this guy. And so what do? We wait for price to break. So if price is breaking, there are only two places that we can now trade from. One is the open close of this guy or the daily, or we just wait for price to break it, finish. It's as simple as that, right? So how do we now, capitalize since we already have all of this? We'll go to the 4H. Now on the 4H, what can we see? We see that price already pushing, looking